training. We're going to be talking about home run copywriters. Write sales copy that turns suspicious readers into trusting, eager to buy customers at the blink of an eye. In this training, we're going to be talking about pitching the perfect game, researching and targeting your Grand Slam message, personalizing your copy to speak directly to your target audience and make them feel like you have written the sales copy specifically for them. And that's what you want to do, is you want to connect with your reader so that they feel like you're right there with them, talking to them specifically. Not like you just sent this sales page out to the masses, or your squeeze page, or your email, or whatever copy that you're sending out there. You want it to talk specifically to that reader and not make them feel like they're just one in a million that, that is reading this along with them. If you get this right, you're going to be way ahead of the game. Here's something you really need to pay attention to, and these are probably a couple of the most important points that I want you to get out of this training tonight. Become your customer. You need to become your customer. You need to be able to walk in their shoes, and a lot of times this is really simple to do because you have been there, you've done that already. And that's what you want to come across as, is I've been there, I've done that, I sympathize with you, I know what you're going through, and I have your answers. I know what problems you have. I have the answers because I am you. I was you. Because one of the things that a lot of people do is they'll write copy, whether it's be their sales page, squeeze pages, whether it be their emails that are sending out there. And we all know that they're usually going out to the masses. Now, you really get good when somebody sends you an email and they basically start talking to you about, you keep sending this to me and stuff, and they start thinking that email was just written for them and nobody else. When you can do that, you know that you're starting to really get good at your copy, because non-targeted anybody's does not equal success. And a lot of people are just writing emails, they're writing their sales copy, and they're just trying to get it out to as many people as possible. What this is doing is basically wasting a lot of your time, maybe a lot of expense in advertising, basically getting it out there and you're not targeting the right people. So non-targeted anybody's does not equal success. We're not just writing copy for anybody. You need to write it specifically for your targeted customer, because when that happens, when they show up to your sales page, it's all going to be relevant to them. They're going to connect with you in a better way, and it's going to have better results, better conversions in the end. Know who you are writing your sales copy for. Research your prospective targeted audience and get into their mindset. Your sales letters need to have a feel of personalization. And we're saying sales letters here, but this goes right along with your emails, your squeeze pages, your website copy for maybe your blogs, whatever you're writing. That copy that you're writing needs to connect with your prospective targeted audience. You need to get inside of their mindset. You need to understand who they are. You need to understand what kind of circumstances they're coming from, what kind of problems they're experiencing, so that you can relate to them. When you start relating to them, you're going to give them a sense that you've personalized them specifically for them. And when you do that, that's where the real connection starts happening. Knowing your audience will make it easier for you to write a sales letter that will have some positive effect on them. What you're looking for is some kind of positive effect. A lot of times you'll read sales letters and you walked away from that, you didn't take the action, and you all the way through it, maybe you had it seemed hypey, it just seemed like really wasn't relevant to you, and you left with a negative experience. You need to focus on creating a positive effect on your reader. And to be able to do that, you've got to know who you're writing for. Avoid writing in a way that makes your reader feel like you're writing to a large crowd. Write to specific people. You should write to a real and living person. A lot of people will write good content, but it really doesn't feel like it's got any kind of personalization, and it feels like it's just written to everybody. I don't know if you've ever gotten those letters from relatives where at Christmas time where they take the lazy way out, and because they're so, they're like, I'm so busy this year, So I'm just writing, instead of sending typing a personal letter out to everybody, I'm just typing this one, I've copied it, and I'm sending it out to everybody I know. It loses that personalization effect. When you get them, you're excited maybe to see the information that's in there, but there's that feeling of, man, what happened? I remember when they used to write specifically something to me where, it was more personal to me. That gives us a better feeling than we walk away thinking that it's everybody else was just reading the same exact thing. So make sure that you write to a specific person. Write the letter as if you're writing to one of your friends, not to hundreds of thousands of people or thousands of people. If you're writing a letter to your friend, the thing that you have to understand is it's usually pretty easy to write to them. You know what kind of problems they have going on because they're telling you. So you're able to help them out sometimes with the problems that they're facing, maybe through your own personal experience. You know everything about that friend. So when you're writing to them, it's very personal, and that's what you need to be going for in your sales copy, in your emails, is that personal effect, just like you're writing to your friend. You've got to get to know that person you're marketing to like you would your friends, and there's some ways that you can go about this. Now, you're probably not going to have that relationship that's going to be just like your personal friend is going to be. You're probably never going to get that way, except you'll have 2 or 3 that are on your list or that you market to or whatever, that you'll get to know really well. But for the most part, you've got to do the very best that you can to understand everything about that person so that you can make it a more personalized. Know how your target audience thinks. You must be able to think as your target audience would think. You've got to know their mindsets. If your target audience is going from one bad experience to another, you need to understand that, because you're going to have to overcome this in your sales copy. We're going to be talking about objectives here at the end and overcoming objectives. But you've got to understand what's going on in their mindset right now. What are they tired of? What is driving them? Are they coming from a place where they understand how, if you're trying to teach them how to make money online or something like that, are they coming from an era where they understand how to manage that money if they actually got it? Are they understanding what real success is, what real money is? Or are they coming from a place where maybe they're just used to going from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, and that's all they understand? That is success to them, is being able to pay the bills. What is success to them? What is going on in their mindset? You need to be able to start thinking like them, understanding where they're coming from, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to answer the questions that they have when they come to your sales page. And you need to be able to be a step ahead of them in always answering those questions that are on their mind. You've got to overcome that mindset a lot of times when they show up to your page. They show up to a page going, well, I hope this is going to be something different than I just experienced last time. So you've got to show them in the sales copy that you're writing, or that you've had written, that yes, this is something that's going to be completely different than what you've experienced in the past, and here's why. And that copy has to relate that. Knowing your target audience will help you establish rapport with the reader. The most important place to define your relationship with the reader is in the introduction of your sales copy. It's not once they've bought, because if you don't establish that relationship right here at point A, or on your squeeze page, or wherever that copy is that you're trying to get them to take action, if you don't establish it there, you're not going to ever get the chance to establish it, because very, very few people are just going to sign up for something that they really didn't connect with when they showed up to the page. If they really didn't connect with that squeeze page, they're not usually going to just throw in their name and email unless they're just looking to get everything that they can for free. But if they're really serious about things, if there's no connection, they're probably not going to take the action that you want them to take. Beginners that are just starting out, and there's a lot that are going to listen to this, and you need to understand, start targeting people similar to who you were when you first got into marketing. Because these are the people that you're going to be able to relate to the most. These are the people you're going to understand the most. You're going to understand what they're going through. You're going to understand the experiences and how to deal with those kind of experiences. So know or share the same thoughts and feelings as your reader. You know, it's and that when you connect with the people that basically are at the place where you first got started into marketing, you're going to be able to share those same thoughts. You're going to have those same feelings as your reader already. A lot of times people will get to the place where they've had a lot of success and it becomes very hard to relate to a beginner. And that's why a lot of marketers that are maybe big time, you know, the big gurus like we call them or whatever, have a very hard time relating to somebody that's just first getting started out. They don't really have time for them anymore because they don't understand them. To them, it's hard to go from the thinking that they're at and come back down to a beginning level. You know, they see that as going backwards, so it's hard for them. So if you can connect with the people that are on the level where you first started, especially when you're just first getting started yourself, if you can connect with those people, you're going to be able to have a deeper connection with them because you're going to have those same thoughts still. You're going to have those same feelings already as your readers are going to have. Understanding